Hey everyone, welcome to our channel Mental Game. Today, we are going to talk about reasons why highly intelligent people prefer to be alone. Now let's begin. Do you often prefer staying home rather than going out with friends? If you answered yes, I think it's safe to say that in general, you feel more comfortable being alone than doing things with others. While many people value relationships, friendships, and spending time with people they really like, studies indicate that those with higher IQs are happiest when they have less social interaction. There are several explanations for this, and in this article, we'll look at 9 common reasons why highly intelligent people prefer to be alone. It helps them be more productive. Intelligence comes in many different forms and expressions, but it's common for intelligent people to enjoy solo pursuits that expand the mind. They might prefer to sit quietly and read or get their head around an interesting idea or topic. Being around other people might be fun, but to a highly intelligent person it can quickly become a waste of time. Hanging out, chatting, and enjoying others' company becomes a distraction from more productive tasks. If you are committed to improving yourself, then reading, writing, learning, studying, creating, and contemplating are a better investment of time, and all of which are often more effectively done by highly intelligent people alone. If nothing else, they find it easier to concentrate on tasks when no one else is around. When we're in the presence of others, it's easy to lose focus. We're distracted by what others say and do, and we're often drawn into conversations about things we don't care about. It gives you more time to think. The most intelligent people I know are also the ones who spend the most time thinking about big ideas. Their out-of-the-box thinking means they often struggle with what they view as mundanities and trivialities, such as small talk. They are fascinated by how everything fits together in the world. How does society work? Why are there wars? What makes us happy? Where did life come from? These questions fascinate them, and because they are curious, they want to learn more. Intelligent people may put their big brain power to good use, but all that thinking is time-consuming. Rather than quickly coming to conclusions, they are more prone to mulling things over to find the best solution. That takes deliberation. This thinking time needs to be done alone. Finding your people can be trickier. Opposites don't really attract. In fact, people are drawn to those who they feel they share similarities with. We look for friends and companions who are on our wavelength. One of the potential downsides of high intelligence is that there can be far fewer people around you who you feel you are on a similar level with. Around 98% of the population has an IQ below 130. So it stands to reason that if you are part of the 2%, you are clearly in the minority. Being very intelligent means you often think differently from the masses. But that means that finding commonality in order to connect with others can be more challenging too. Company without connection loses its significance. In fact, being around people who you don't feel understood by can be even more isolating than simply being alone. Highly intelligent people may gravitate more to their own company because they don't find as many people who they naturally click with and want to spend their time with. If you don't have something in common with the people you hang out with, you can feel like socializing feels more mundane or draining. Being around people might feel stressful. Another interesting evolutionary suggestion for why the smartest people prefer solitude is that they have better evolved to adapt to modern society. We live very differently now from how we once did. Rather than small communities, most of our societies are now spread out over highly urbanized areas. As a consequence, our exposure to strangers has also significantly increased. The hustle and bustle of city life is a much more stressful way for humans to live. One theory is that as we came to live increasingly in urban areas, the smartest people found a way of coping with that high-stress environment. The simple evolutionary response was to withdraw. Intelligent people could perhaps crave more alone time in order to remove themselves from the stressors of modern living. It's not just about avoiding crowds. It's also about removing yourself from the pressures of having to interact with other people. To reset after socializing. Just as introverts need more time to energetically recharge after being around people, the same might be the case for intelligent people too. Because of the way they may have evolved to deal with urban environments, they may also need to reset after being around others. When you're surrounded by people day after day, it can become difficult to cope with the constant demands and expectations placed upon you. You need time to process events. In order to avoid the pressure of interacting with too many people at any one time, some people choose to go off and do their own thing. This reset time is part of the way intelligent people are evolving to better cope with their environment. It's not always that they do not enjoy being with others, but they better recharge and relax through time spent alone. They're never bored. Growing up, my mom used to say that only boring people get bored. Well, very smart people are not bored by their own company. Unlike most people who may find it dull to be on their own and need company to feel stimulated, this isn't usually the case for very clever people. It's not that they even need to do anything in particular to stay entertained. Their minds are rarely at rest and they can retreat into their own little world. Within their own imagination, they have countless things that keep them engaged. They don't need as much validation from others. We all need love and validation from others to a certain extent. It's part of our genetic makeup. But some crave it more than others. They need the reassurance of others to make them feel good about themselves. People tend to look less to others for their self-esteem. They are usually more confident in themselves and their abilities. Rather than valuing lots of people's opinions, they have a smaller number of people who they trust and look to for validation. As a consequence, they don't seek that approval from those around them in the same way. They are less fixated on acceptance of society in general and more on self-acceptance. They care far less what others think of them. This self-reliance leaves them better equipped at breaking free from the social conditioning that can plague most of us. Once we remove the social conditioning and unrealistic expectations our family, education system, and even religion has put onto us, the limits to what we can achieve is endless. And an intelligent person realizes this. I learned this, and much more, from the world-renowned shaman Ruda Ayandi. In this excellent free video, Ruda explains how you can lift the mental chains and get back to the core of your being. A word of warning, Ruda isn't your typical shaman. He's not going to reveal pretty words of wisdom that offer false comfort. Instead, he's going to force you to look at yourself in a way you have never before. It's a powerful approach, but one that works. Highly intelligent people experience higher levels of anxiety. Intelligence may be a gift, but it can have its downsides too. To a certain extent, it's a double-edged sword, and increased anxiety levels often accompany increased brain power. All that overthinking can make intelligent people more prone to worrying too. Researchers have found a link between worry and intelligence. They found that people who reported a tendency for worry and rumination scored higher on the test of verbal intelligence, which was taken from the well-known Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale. People who are prone to anxiety and worry can find themselves self-excluding from groups as a coping strategy. It becomes easier to manage stress when potential triggers are removed from the equation. So one possible reason why smart people might prefer to be alone sometimes is that social situations could make that anxiety and worry worse. It's more calming to be alone. They are ambitious. Smart people tend to be driven and motivated. This can mean that they want to achieve things and get ahead faster than others. But this can also mean that they are willing to put in extra hours to get what they want. And while some people value the rest and relaxation of socializing, others may see their free time as an opportunity to push themselves further. Some people will take the extra effort required to succeed because they are so driven. For these people, success means doing whatever it takes to get there. For the smartest people, their career, ambitions, and goals are more important than going out drinking or time-wasting, doing nothing in particular. They are independent. Intelligent people often have strong opinions about how things should be done. While many people would rather go along with the crowd, intelligent people are often unwilling to compromise and natural-born leaders. They might become annoyed when they have to spend time working around another person's ideas. They might not understand why anyone would choose to follow someone else's path. Because they are so good at thinking logically, they are likely to come up with solutions that no one has thought of before. As a result, they can even be seen by others as arrogant or self-centered at times. However, they are usually just trying to do what they believe is best. This strong sense of independence makes them natural lone wolves rather than sheep. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so we can keep making them. For more videos, subscribe this Mental Game channel and remember to click on the notification. Also be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.